climate change, is it really happening? Isn't it really happening? Are humans really causing it? Are humans not really causing it? There seems to be little to no debate about this anymore now, since the kind of the doom bandwagon has totally kicked into high gear, and no one really seems to debate whether or not climate change is caused by humans anymore. That seems to be a solid scientific fact or something now, and it's, I think, a little bit of a shame that there's so much energy that goes into trying to close down debate on that issue. And I think there is still a debate to be had about that issue, and I think recent research does chime with that perspective. And my original perspective on this was that, oh, this is just the narrowing of error bars over the course of the many decades that we've been studying this, the planet's surface temperature, and that as estimates of air temperature get better, it leads to an increase in air temperature just due to the fact that we're gaining better and more accurate estimates of temperature. And this is just one of the things that happens, that when we use statistics, modelling approaches, more sophisticated measuring instruments and so on, revealing different uncertainties, or narrowing uncertainties, we would hope. But this is a research paper from Frontiers in Earth Science, and this was published in 2019 by Patrick Frank of the SLAC, National Accelerator Laboratory of Stanford University. It's called Propagation of Error and the Reliability of Global Air Temperature Projections. And the final line, or the last two lines rather, of the abstract that I'll read out now, is analogously large but previously unrecognized uncertainties must therefore exist in all past and present air temperature projections and hindcasts of even advanced climate models. The unavoidable conclusion is that an anthropogenic air temperature signal cannot have been, nor presently can be, evidenced in climate observables. So that's a pretty clear statement, really, of the situation that we're in. That far from there being any climate change at all, or global warming, or what have you, it seems to me that it's just the increased accuracy in our measurements that's causing this apparent climate change, this apparent increase in the certainty of measurements. And that, yeah, as a consequence of that, which is, I mean, when it comes down to it, this is something that science is prone to. It's prone to being wrong retrospectively, if you see what I mean. It's prone to, well, advancement. It's a kind of a consequence of how advanced our science has become. It's a consequence of how advanced our technology has become, that we've managed to expose degrees of error in our calculations of climate that we previously hadn't accounted for. And that what's really going on is that it's just a set of statistical anomalies that have been distorting climate projections over the many years, and these haven't been accounted for. Well, they have since been accounted for in this research, and it's sort of out there for you to peruse if you would like to. You never see the error bars, do you, on climate graphs, on the classic hockey stick graph? That's just a result of, increased technical capabilities at taking planetary temperature measurements. It's no fault of science, really. Well, it is the fault of science also, because they're making the wrong inferences from that. They're saying that it's a result of humans burning fossil fuels, which, I mean, I don't deny that humans burning fossil fuels can cause all sorts of environmental havoc and devastation, ocean acidification and so on. I'm personally more of the opinion that we're more likely to blow ourselves up with hydrogen bombs over natural resources, over fossil fuels, than we are to lead to anthropogenic climate change. But, I mean, it is what it is, nonetheless. It's a phantasm of statistics. If you see what I mean, it's a phantasm of data gathering. That's more likely the culprit for man-made climate change, I think. So called.